Marker, Dear Evan Hansen. Action, let's go, baby. It's finally here, another musical. What's going on, everybody? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady, and
this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Movie Talk fans, what is up, everybody? Hopefully everyone's having a great week, man. We're almost in October. It's almost Halloween season, Angela.
I'm ready for that.
Ready.
Season.
Let's go, man. We're ready for the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk musicals, man. All right. Now, Dear Evan Hansen, Angela, Tony Award winner Ben Platt.
So I gotta say, I'm the one who told you about this film because
you
I would see a whole bunch of commercials come on. I think when I was watching like YouTube videos, there would be those little ads, and I would see this so many times. And I love musicals. Mm-hmm. I can't get enough of them, and I like Ben Platt. I think he was great in like Pitch Perfect. I know he's done a lot of
Tony Award winner Ben Platt.
I know, and he's done a lot of Broadway. So I was really excited to see this. It made me cry. That trailer made me cry every time I would see it. So I was really pumped to see this.
Definitely, I was pumped. So pumped that I was interested to see what dramatic takeaway we're gonna see, what what are we gonna see out of Ben Platt to really succeed as an actor and to really succeed, because I mean he's great in Broadway. I know people that have seen the show, and I read comments on Reddit, YouTube, and it's just like, dude, if you wish you would have seen it on Broadway. That's how people portrayed it as, and that's how I saw comments and everything. All right, fine, but when it becomes a movie, that's where I feel like it struggles a lot. You know, there's a lot of movies that we can name that really struggle a lot when it comes from musical. And there's some movies that are good. I mean, I know Phantom of the Opera, everyone does not like that movie, but that cast it's not as great as this one, I would say, but I mean it was good. I mean it's still good.
Excuse me.
Well, okay, scratch that. It is great. It is great.
It has Gerard Butler.
I know.
Patrick Wilson,
man. Oh, Patrick Wilson. But all bets aside though. Okay, so look. Let's keep it real right here. Let's keep it real. Ben Platt, he's a year, I believe we're a year older than him. He's 27 years old. We're 28, gonna be 29. So we're granted like a year and a half, I would say, pretty much older. Now in this movie, guys, I had a problem with this movie. It was struggling with me a lot. The only thing I said struggled with me a lot was really hitting the nerve was how much of a mannequin he looked like. He looked like a hardcore mannequin. I don't know if it was just... He just looked very plasticky in that sense, which was bothering me a lot in the movie and everything. And because this guy, I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen him recently, but he has a full-on beard. He's hairy, and all that stuff. Like, he's a hairy guy. I mean, show it, bro. I mean, we were all hairy. I mean, I can name so many people that I went to high school with that were hairy, much, sometimes even much hairier than that guy.
Yeah, but I would know people in middle school who had beards.
Yeah, okay, so
middle school,
okay, granted, there's that, right? So there's that going against him in that kind of sense. Which I completely understand. I really do. He's older. He's old to play that role. But is it really gonna make you negative already going into the movie? I don't think so. Of course, I've seen critics and everything really criticize him playing that role because of his age, and I'm all like, no. Like, let's clarify here. He's a great singer. This guy's a great singer, and that's the thing, though. This movie really comes out to be those emotional aspects, those emotional awareness to where mentally illness and to where social anxiety and all that, it really shapes a form to where it's going to show us this great dramatic roles. And it's flawed, man. The way this movie just really progressed, with the way it's put together, this movie's runtime is a huge problem that's working against itself. The runtime for this movie is 2 hours and 17 minutes. That is way too long for a musical. That is way too long, just in my opinion. When it comes to musicals, for me, it's always like an hour and 30 minutes or close to 2 hours. I wouldn't even see, even 2 hours is pushing it. An hour and 45 minutes. I'll leave it at that. And that's pushing it for much to me. Granted, there is a lot of... The music is good. The music is really good in this movie. So I had nothing against the voice actors or nothing against the voice, the voices or any of the cast. Really, it's just the way this film was put together seemed to bother me so much. And a lot of these scenes were like, okay, this is my rant. I'm just gonna have a rant too as well. So we have people talking in one scene, right? We're talking, right? And it's just like the other person singing. I don't like that. It's like either sing all the way or just talk all the way. Like, I don't like how they keep going back and forth, whether it be a rap, whether it be a freestyle, whether it be just I don't like the way they musically inclines together like that. I didn't like any of those scenes. And there's a lot of scenes where I could have taken out of this movie to make it shorter. But I'm just giving a little gist to it because I'm going to have my wife speak. So, Angela, you have the floor, baby. Go ahead.
So I'm going to disagree with you on a lot of that because for me, to start off with, his age does not bother me. I think he played this high school character very well.
Yeah.
Now, is he playing a freshman? I don't think so.
And I hope not.
I would have a problem if he was playing a freshman, but you know what? He played a senior, and it's believable. Yeah. For me, I don't have a problem with that because we grew up in an age where all those 90s, 2000 shows, One Tree Hill, they were all in their 20s whenever they were playing that. Granted, they were probably younger.
They were in early 20s,
but again, they were in their 20s. So
they're not in their late 20s,
For people to criticize him based solely on his age is ridiculous to me. I mean, the guy's talented. I think, if you say, he's a very well established singer. He's great, phenomenal, beautiful voice.
Great voice.
So it didn't bother me, that aspect. I would agree with you on there are certain scenes I felt like could have been cut.
Yeah.
They made the movie drag. I feel like there's maybe a song or two that could have been cut. Again, I'm not familiar with the Broadway rendition of this. I don't know what songs are in there. I'm not sure what songs, if
gotcha.
all of them are in the movie or if some are cut. But I feel like some songs, movie-wise, should have been not there to cut down on the time. Again, I enjoyed all the music. There were some songs I just didn't like too much. But most of all, I loved all of the songs. The singing, talking part didn't bother me that much as you did.
It bothers me. I'm sorry.
As much as you did. But again,
that's my pet peeve.
Okay, yeah, but again,
it's just why? Sing.
Okay, yeah, I get it, but I mean, it didn't bother me as much. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved the cast going in. I mean, you have Juliana Moore, Danny Pino, Amy Adams.
And that's why I was so pumped for this movie. I was like, dude, this cast is huge, and they get the person who actually played. Ben Platt, who actually played this guy, who got a Tony Award winner, this, and that's why I was giving it so much high reward already, like going in with positive note, because like, dude, this cast is big. It's a great cast.
Even up and coming stars like was it Caitlin Denver? She's from Booksmart.
Dude, she
Amanda
was good in
Steinberg,
Booksmart. Yeah.
She's in The Hate You Give.
Okay, so Caitlin Denver. Okay, let's go to her character real quick. She plays Zoe Murphy, and here's the thing. I feel like she did not exceed her talent to what she did better in Booksmart than I would say. But again, granted, she did have a lead role in there. She's only a supporting role in here. But I feel like she was limited. I don't know why. It's just the way I felt like in this movie. See, I mean, obviously, Juliana Moore, she's not the main actress. She's not the lead character in this movie. We know that. But it's like, I mean, Ben Platt, his love interest is Caitlin Denver. It just feels so controlled in the sense to where like she really doesn't exceed her character and she doesn't really come out. And again, I know I'm interrupting my wife. That's it. Going back to your scenario, remember you told me In the Heights, why we loved In the Heights so much was because they cut a lot of songs, because you said, oh, there's still a lot of songs. Like, what? And then you were right. There were a lot of freaking songs. Now, they did not cut any songs.
That's interesting. And again, I feel like there are certain scenes that I didn't need to hear those songs as far as movie-wise. For me, I disagree with your position of these characters are limited because they're not the main part. They're not the main concern.
True.
The whole main concern is Ben Platt's character's journey. Of course, everyone kind of factors into this whole grand scheme of the plot. Yeah, sure. But the main development is Ben Platt's character.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't feel that as much as I loved Amanda Steinberg, loved her in The Hate You Give, loved her in this one. I don't feel like I should have seen more of her character because she's not the main character.
But again, though,
she adds to the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But she doesn't. I feel like her character isn't supposed to have this great development
when she adds to this story, though, she has to it's just
But not every character has to go through this big old development.
Again, it's the way.
Sorry.
No, I'm not asking for the big development.
Same thing with Juliana Moore's character, the mom. Same thing with Amy Adams, Danny Pino. Same thing.
No, that was different though. That was different because I would say the parents got more screen time than she did. That's what's crazy about it. Because they're more to the story. They are the parents of this boy anyways. Okay, suicide. So and I seen so many memes of Ben Platt with this old face, this old really old grandpa face, like someone photoshopped a grandpa face and it's dude, I've been seeing some crazy stuff on Twitter.
So people need to back up on the age because that's ridiculous. I mean,
he's our age. But that's the thing though. It's what's the age?
In my opinion, he passed as a high school senior in this film.
Okay.
So for people to give him crap about, oh, you're 28 or whatever, you shouldn't be playing this role, that's baloney, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I think he passed.
Yeah.
Now, there's certain people who just look so much older and can't pass.
Yeah.
And even if they played this roles, that wouldn't bother me as much as it does some people. But again, people like to criticize and judge and whatever, right?
True.
That's their thing. But I really liked him in this role. I really did. Granted, I agree with you. It could have been shorter, and certain scenes could have been cut.
So
I overall enjoyed it.
I wanted more dark humor, and they did a little bit of it, kind of a lot with the friends, with Ben Platt's friend and everything. I kind of like that humor. They were going back at each other, especially telling the story. It was funny. I wish that would have exceeded a little bit more because that was game potential. And then let's go to that. What everyone saw in that trailer, of course, was that crazy. That's what I would say is the best point of the movie. And it's and I'm saying that by it was the auditorium scene where Ben Platt actually presents.
And sings
that song, the iconic song. You will be found, and that song is good. Again, I have no issues with the song, guys. The songs are great. The song is just good tone. I love it. I love the songs, but again, it's the way this film was put together. I feel like this was a Broadway. It's tough, man, because it's when you transition to an actual movie, that's where it's okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stick? It can't be you can't film it like it's a Broadway musical in that sense,
I get you, but I didn't see that conflict when I was watching this movie.
Okay, so again, that's our disagreement right there, man. See, this is the line has been drawn, guys. The line has been drawn. And then also the emotional aspect of this movie where it talks about disorder, when it talks about the mental illness, I feel like it didn't really touch up on it. It kind of did, which surprised me because I really wanted them to touch up more on that a little bit more, as far as, because I mean you're right, they follow Ben Platt's character, but I'm just why did they really explain? I wish we would have seen a scene between him and his therapist, at least one scene in there where explaining why he was acting the way he was, why he was lying to everybody.
Okay, and that's another thing too. When you were reading comments, when you were reading comments on the reviews of this, people were like, Ben Platt's character is manipulative, lying jerk. And for me, someone who comes from having depression and anxiety, I get how hard it is to keep things from snowballing. He didn't want to break the parents' hearts by telling them the truth, because that was the only thing they have left of their son, because their son is no longer here so far. Yeah. So I understand how it got out of their control. Now, was there a certain point where he did get lying and he should have told the truth earlier? Absolutely. But to call that character, oh, you're a manipulating jerk, I don't think so, because there was no malicious intent with that. For me, his character was but that's where people are having problems with this character, and I'm like, that's the whole point. He has this depression, anxiety. He doesn't want to rock the boat. He doesn't want to, he couldn't say no to the parents because that essentially breaks their heart, and it did get out of control. Obviously, and that's the story of it. It's not just about this unfortunate teen's suicide. But it's about more than that. It's about how he struggled, how teenagers struggle. Yeah. You'd even touch up on people who you don't even know are going through these things. They go through these things.
And it does spread awareness to it, kind of, once again. And just I just feel like they could have exceeded to where we see more emotional aspect as far as Ben Platt does. He does have little scenes, like a little, but I feel like it's not, if that makes any sense, it's not dramatic enough.
I cried. Yeah. He made me cry.
I mean, but again, it's the way the film's put together. I did not like the way this film was put together. I don't like the way they were singing and talking at the same time. I don't mind, that's the thing, is that, like, I mean, I don't mind if it's all musical or if it's all, because I mean there's certain movies that I like that are all musical, and that's not the argument. That's not the argument there.
Where the whole thing is singing throughout.
That's not the argument here.
You have told me before there are musicals where every single dialogue line is a singing song, and you don't like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, there are songs that are a little strange because a line of the song is singing, a line of it is talking, goes back to singing, goes back to talking. I get what you're trying to say there, but me, that didn't bother me. So I enjoyed this. I didn't have any of those online comments about, his age and his character. They didn't bother me. But overall, again, my only quarrel with this film was, yes, there could have been scenes cut out.
Definitely.
Could it have impacted the whole meaning of the story? Maybe. But that's just my opinion.
Again, it was just, a little long. I feel like this for a movie like this, especially on the subject and all this subject awareness and everything, it just sucks that I'm more mad that this movie wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. That's why I'm mad about. That's why I'm frustrated about it, because I wanted it to really be good and to be almost as good as In the Heights. In my personal opinion, it's not good. It's not as good as In the Heights, obviously, not whatsoever. But again, I feel like
that's different.
Different. But it's a musical. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. But regardless, it's a musical. They're both musicals, and we get another musical coming out there later this year, which is going to depend what is the best musical of the year, because a lot of musicals are coming out this year.
I don't know. So that one's
West Side Story, baby. Let's go.
By Steven Spielberg, right? So he's going to have a hand in it. So.
But yeah, going back on this, was this the film that we deserved? I'm going to say
no.
Yes,
it is. No, it is, because it brings awareness to these things that people, especially teenagers, are going through now. And it brings awareness to this really happens. Unfortunately, kids and people commit suicide because they're struggling, and I feel like this brings awareness to that. And like you say, like, there are certain scenes where it explains, like, everyone goes through their own struggles, even people you don't think that could be the popular girl who's just well liked by everyone. They have their own struggles as well.
Definitely.
I really liked how they touch up on that a little bit.
They did, but again,
but it's not their story. It's not their story. It is Ben Platt's
I know,
story,
but all those extra scenes were like, I could literally take them out. I wish they would have exceeded on this note. I wish they would have done a Ben Platt scene where he's talking to his therapist and really show the authenticity of how it, going through that struggle. That's all I'm saying. That's all I wanted to see more of.
It's hard because you can't quantify all of his struggles into one therapy session.
No, of course not. I'm not saying mixed on well. I'm just saying at least give us give us a taste of it in that sense.
Well, we do, because we see, the forest scene so many times, and every time it shows a little bit more, and it unveils of how much he's going through and what happens in the forest. Definitely. So it kind of does, but I know what you're saying with the therapy scene. But
I really, and because a lot of it, they mention a lot of therapy. I mean, the mother, the Julianne Moore's, because she plays his mom, so we see that a lot, like mentioning it, and we see them a lot like, well, let me get you help, and it's just like it's kind of like I'm missing a part out of the movie in that sense, where I didn't get a full on closure. But again, it's because I wanted it to be a really good, solid film. And for me, it wasn't. Guys. Let's go to ratings, Angela. Ratings 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest.
I really enjoyed it. I really did. It made me cry. I liked the songs. I liked the message, what it was trying to achieve. I will give it a 7 because I really enjoyed it. Me, personally.
Okay, so I would say another musical film that takes a leap into the movie theaters. Man, it takes a leap into the movie theaters. I mean, that's being kindly. That I didn't mean that like in the nicest way possible.
You can give it.
Here's the thing. Okay, so I wanted it to be good, guys. It wasn't. I really did not like this movie. I'll be honest there. I really did not like this movie. I'm gonna give this a solid 4. A solid 4. That's below average, just because it just didn't exceed what I wanted it to be. Again, the trailers are so good. The trailers are really great. They're A+ trailers. But it's like, we've seen this case happen nonstop where the trailers are so great and the movies end up being terrible. Not necessarily musicals, any type of movie. And then we get awful trailers and the movies are great. So it's like one of those hit and misses there. And musicals for anyone though. Musicals are a hit and miss, Angela. You didn't like La La Land.
No.
Yeah, see, exactly. So it's like musicals are a hit and miss.
La
but that's
La
a Broadway musical.
How I didn't like it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
The only song that I liked was that one bit where what's his face was playing the piano.
Well, remember, we're going to get another musical with a release date, obviously because of COVID. We're getting Wicked in the theaters. So but we don't know the ETA of that yet.
Yes.
But again, that's another musical where like it needs to do well. It needs to be put together well though.
And I've seen that a couple times, and
the difference
will be harsh on that one.
And the difference is they're gonna be CGI. Hopefully, there's CGI that's to where it takes us into that world even more because they don't use that at Broadway, of course. But
I mean, because the characters are still kind of there. I mean, you still have
But the point is that they are actually able to use CGI now, so it's like sky's the limit with as far as imagination.
Okay, all right, with the monkeys. And
all right, guys. Well, our review came out to be longer than expected. We went on a little rant here, but hopefully you stuck with us for this long, guys. But yeah, Angela, what was your rating again?
I'll give it a 7 because I like the song and I like the actors and actresses, and I think they did very well.
I'll give it a 4 because I like the songs. Otherwise, if I did not like any of the songs and I did not like that Ben Platt scene, I would have given this a solid 1 or 2, man, to be honest. I'll be honest there. And this has nothing to do with the cast. I want to say that has nothing to do with cast. It's just the way the story's put together.
Good.
Cast is great.
All of them did great.
Cast is good, solid. I love them as casted in there. Again, Ben Platt didn't have any issue. I didn't have any issues with him being, casted at that role. But again, he did look very plastic and mannequin-y. That's all I'm saying.
He just clean shaven. It's fine.
Just looked a little weird.
You look a little weird.
Oh my god, here we go. All right, guys, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have yourself a wonderful day, guys. Check y'all later. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace, baby.